here's the funny part, right? Think about the video that we filmed over there that I never posted, because I hit this move on everybody. And then what we say you were? Hi, I forgot. How about it? No, I said like before, like, hi, I hit this move on everybody. Like I walk towards the camera and I'm like, hi, I hit this move on everybody. And then what'd you do?
I'm everybody.
Yeah, he just walks in and then he goes and do it. But we never posted that one for a reason. But we'll get to that another day. But welcome back to the channel. What else did he say? Like, we'll just redo this part, right? Welcome back to the channel. Like, comment, share, subscribe. If you like it, and if you don't like it, do the same thing, right? It just kind of works, all right? So I'm here with Lou and Nick at Dante Rivera Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's Sunday. Nick, you can just take a look. We got the storm going, but we wanted to give you some stuff along these kind of lines. And we're gonna give you a couple different videos. This may be the intro for multiple, but you'll see where we're gonna kind of go. So we're just gonna focus a little bit more back on when we were talking about what hand over what leg, and how that's gonna play into this. So my right leg over my left, I can bring Lou more towards my right shoulder from here, okay? So I can bring him vertical. If I wanna bring him towards my left, I generally wanna switch my feet, and I'm gonna be able to bring him towards my left shoulder. When we have the left over the right, and I try to pull him to my right, you're gonna see that I can't really pull him vertical, and we start to get some of this dissociation kind of going, which means my knees are starting to go this way, but my upper body is still going to go there. Well, George, could you just kind of start to switch your hip and everything else? But where his hand position is, whether inside or out, it's just kind of locking me down. So I need to be aware of this, okay? If I want to bring him this way again, I'm good. If I switch and I keep trying to pull him in, you can pull yourself back. We start to see that dissociation happen. So what are ways that we can start to kind of deal with this? I want to make it easier for me to pull him in. There's many details we can do. We can focus on a packed neck. We can focus on bathroom dance, or using like almost like pelvic floor kind of control. We can deflate a balloon. All things for a different day. We can look at mirroring as well. I have my right leg over my left, so I'm going to put my right hand closer to me and my left hand over. So usually one of the ways I'll explain it is right hand closer, right hand closer, left hand over. But if I was literally sitting up, it would be the same thing. Whatever way makes the most sense to you, go ahead and take it, but you'll see where this is going to kind of play out. Right leg's over left. Hand configuration is pretty much a similar thing. I pull him towards my right shoulder, even if he tries to posture back. Makes it a little bit harder, and then I can start focusing, looking through ears, and kind of getting to the angles. If I want to bring him to the left shoulder, he goes to pull back. Much harder as well. The cost of this, though, I want you to understand, is my legs can do a lot of the work, but if you're dealing with somebody a little bit stronger or bigger versus smaller, they're still going to be able to posture. Your hips are going to be able to move. We're going to kind of go from there. What happens now if I keep my left over my right, and remember before I tried to pull him in, right? Can't really get there. However, same configuration, and I pull him in. I can pull him in, but he can still pull away a little bit. You see the arms start to get exposed a little bit. They're not as necessarily good as this. Keep trying to pull away. I can stay a little bit closer. Go back in. He tries to pull away. You'll see that's a little bit harder out of that kind of position. Let's now focus on how can I get more of his weight into his hands up towards me and out. So like put your hands up. When I pull them in, I want to make it so he has to start to stretch out a little bit horizontally out of this. So ways that we can address this situation. I'm going to go back with my right leg over my left, and normally we could start, go ahead and sit all the way back with this here. Right hand closer, left hand over, and I'm going to pull him in. Now, all I'm going to do is switch my hand position. If he tries to pull back, it makes it easier for me to turn my thumb out, and I can start to get outside. I could do a similar thing and take this out as well, and now he's kind of glued to me, and we can take sweeps and we go from there. All right? We're gonna go ahead and do this again, and I'm gonna have Nick pan all the way around. What you should see is more of his weight end up more in his right upper arm up towards here than this. So I'm gonna pull him in. If I switch my hands and he starts trying to pull back, it first made him post on that hand, and as my thumb turned down, forced him to kind of get to the outside. You felt the difference in that one, right? So, stay right there. I pull him in, I switch, and if he goes to pull away, where do you feel more of your weight right now?
Not my right knee.
Right, as he goes to pull away. So now, come back. As we pull him in, and he goes to kind of pull out, now we can start to get to the outside, and now we have a combination here of where his arms are starting to get stretched out, but his hips can still move a little bit more, all right? This is where normally we could start attacking with some of the grips behind the head, doing the sprinkler, and then start bringing this knee up, and really start isolating on arms, legs, and everything. Come back in. Now we're gonna say, let's start combining this and going left leg over right, like we said, and now left hand closer and right over. What's gonna naturally happen is the following, is that as I pull him back in and he tries to move out of the way, I'm just gonna make a read. You'll see that this time I felt his weight leaning that way, so I'm now above the elbow. Regardless of what side I'm gonna be on, I'm gonna be above the elbow. So as he goes to try to move, it makes it easy for me to even start to collect this arm as well, whether I go under or over. And then usually, he's already kind of looking and falling this way. I don't want to lock my guard. I can start curling my toes under. He has nowhere to base. I can bring my head to the mat, slide up, and usually just start getting right to mount with the arms isolated. So you can practice this on both sides. If I wanted to force a little bit more to the other side, I can do a similar kind of thing. Here's where this starts to get kind of creative. A lot of times we will set up, it's like a punch choke setup where my right hand is thumb down, my left hand is thumb up, and my right leg is going to be over my left. Especially pretty good for right hand dominant people that forces them to go more defensive, counter offensive. And for my left side people, it actually makes it more offensive and counter defensive where you're going to start out a little bit more spread. If I can pull him in and then I go to switch my feet, or if he goes to move out of the way, I can start just pushing this across and I have arms exposed. And a lot of times people are like, you can go to a triangle, you can do this. I'm on my side. Away on my side may be okay. So as he goes to move, if he runs into the choke, he's just choking himself. Or if I want to trap, I can start looking at trapping and playing all these different things. I don't want to just go back to my back. But one of the things with this is, if I can pull him closer to me, I can usually get my hands a little bit higher. What happens if I'm dealing with somebody bigger than me, more muscular, more active, anything else, and I try to reach, I'm extending, I'm giving him this inside space. That's usually going to be bad. And the key with this is that thumb down grip always allows him to get to an inside bicep tie, like inside, yeah. So he can always flare that. So if I'm aware of that, what I do with that thumb down grip is now I just roll it the other way, and then I can decide how am I going to go with it. Do I tilt to here? Do I start looking at isolation? But again, it makes it harder for him to post, so that way if he pulls that hand back, he's letting me come back thumb down. Now we're just going to roll it the other way. He's tucked in, or he's like staying back, so I can't get to this kind of position. So what you're going to see now is that if I try to pull him in, don't let me pull you in. Like, stay strong, don't let me pull you in. Can't pull him in, I'm trying, right? I even do this, I can maybe get a little bit more. Going up top's not going to be the answer. I always want to swipe this. Pull that in nice and tight. Here's the cheat. If my left leg is always over my right, thumb down, I can always swipe that lapel open. If my right leg is over my left, I can always swipe his right lapel to my left side open. Always do it. So I want to get that lapel. You're going to see my feet are switched. He's already playing guard from top position better than me. So I'm going to curl my toes under. You can start, like, don't let me get in. I already have thumb down. Now, this is where this is going to start to play into a couple different things. If I want to bring him closer to me vertically, I'm going to have my right hand closer to me. So this is like a baseball back grip. 2 thumbs here, facing out that way. If he still tries to pull away, I can always start to bring him in, and as he tries to move away now, he will feel more weight has to stay in his upper body, and that's where we start going, how do we want to move? We can do these big, great things, and all I'm going to say here is my hands are just going to rotate a little bit like a baseball bat, or if he moves his body, continue, cool. He's just letting me get this over the top. If my thumb is facing me now, here's what I want you to understand. If I get more to the side, I'm more in like a Darce setup and everything from there. But he can drive back in on me, right? So I want to make sure my hips can still move. My thumb has to face down. So now if he tries to kind of push back into me, I can use this and start to just straighten my arm down towards my legs. Now, you don't have to go all the way to the outside. You could think that you're trying to hike a ball or thumb down from that position, or even like a kettlebell swing, because as I'm starting to do that, I can kind of get an idea. Where's his head? You can start moving on me. Where's his head? Where's his arms? His legs are kind of moving, so I can start looking at, can I mirror? Can I tie? And as this is going on, he's just choking himself. I just have to say thank you. So, left leg over right. He's trying to move. I just get in. Now, let's say I'm trying to pull him in. Again, super duper strong guy, or he's already got distance. I can't get this here, I'm too extended. Keep moving. I'm just gonna put my left over, right? Or left closer, keep going. So now I can't really pull him up towards my right shoulder, but I can always start to lean him towards that left side. So now as he starts to move, I can start pulling him back up and now deciding where I'm gonna go. When you're playing with a lot of the lapel stuff, regardless if we're playing lapel and belt, with the way that we have this as a system and the scheme and philosophy with this, we're just reading space, right? This literally is a zone scheme, the way that I've put this together of where can I go? I had space to get this to the outside. We're gonna run this here. We have a head arm ISO to here, and the other arm isolated. Thumb is down, so we know our hips are gonna move more. I know his right leg is slightly higher. As he goes to move, I'm focused on the ear, continue to move. And then I can start to say, can I take my right arm out? Can I frame? And as this is going, now I can decide if he pushes back into me, he's just choking himself. So we're gonna be nice to Lou, especially neck, everything else with this. If I wanted to go cross-collar choke, a lot of people love doing this. I'm gonna tell you right now, think of this, you're either working in to out for right now, and then as you get used to this, we got more to go over with you from here. If I try to keep him to the outside, what most people are gonna do is I'm gonna go cross-collar choke. So again, I went from being good on my side and being safe, and now he starts flattening me back out. Now I gotta play this game, and hopefully I get the angle out of this, right? But if he knows that's there, if he just tilts his right ear to his right shoulder and starts looking to me, that's off, right? Got some space. So all he did is made sure to cut this off better than what I was trying to do for the choke. If he does it better than what I'm doing, he's winning. So now I gotta make it up from here, and he flattens me back out, and now he can start playing, and now my wrist is in a really bad position. So when we're here, I'd rather have you focus, we're still play this outside, make sure your hips can move, especially smaller versus bigger, female versus male, out of this could do this. And even if you're a little bit bigger, play with that as well. In lieu of, if you don't have access to this hand, guess what? My left hand can stay there too. The cost of this though is what's gonna come back in. That head's gonna cheat back over, so now I have to decide, as he goes, continues, maybe now I can start to pass this off, and now I get that setup for the choke or the strangle out of this. You're going to have to kind of play with it and figure out the timing of this. As they start to move, now we have many different options. He gave me the spacing to come over the top, so we're going to play it over the top. Continue. And at any point, I really want to isolate off of this, I can start just pinning down, staying outside of this arm. Now we're just reading. Can I go under it? No. Can I stay outside? I can grab outside my thigh. I can grab around. I can go in. If he starts to drive in towards me, I could start to go essentially whizzer down or overwrap. And if he comes too high into me, now I could start going with like an overhook. Now, the thing with the overhook is my thumb is facing me, and this is where most people struggle. Just like when Nick was giving you the angle of when I say pull towards my side. You still good here, bud? Backing this off? Good. Okay. When I say like pull towards my shoulder, a lot of times people are going to think pull and go back flat. You have to go relative to the position you're in. So if I said I need to bring my left knee towards my right shoulder, it's not that I want to go back flat. I want to literally go pull as much as I can, and if I'm trying to pull to my right shoulder, I want to give myself as much real estate as possible. tuck my left ear to my left shoulder, I look right, now I got a little bit more space, and I go, okay, I have that overwrap, or overhook. So now, if he's trying to move, instead of me trying to go flat back, I think lean back almost like a dolphin or like arching back. So now as he goes to kind of move out of this position, I have space to get even more space out of this. Then I can decide if all of his weight's leaning that way, his left knee's kind of bent, right leg's got a kind of base, I'm just gonna curl my toes under, and then I can just start to build height. His right arm is getting outside of me, my right arm gets outside, he's gotta fall over. Once we're here, we're just set up, right, to go into a lot of our chokes and a lot of our setups from here. Remember though, they submit themselves. If he tries to turn his back flat right now, he chokes himself. I let him do it. Whoever you're going against, let him do it. I squeeze this too hard, now he can go ahead and get his back flat. He can move. Good, great job. Come back. That's why we're gonna focus on a rule of 2 or 3. I'm either gonna be 2 or I'm gonna be 3, and it could be either lower or upper. I'm being a little mindful of my thumb right now, but you can kind of pinch in, so if he tries to move, that got tighter again. If I go lower, so I'm really focused on the pinky and everything else, he tries to move, that got tighter. If I death grip this and I squeeze really hard, he's getting out. Come back. If I sit here and I make a fist in this hand, go ahead, he can kind of move. If I tense my jaw, he can move. I want to have the ability to go, can I keep this, cut this down, or if I need to roll him back this way, is keeping it that weight there in those fingers, is that now I pull this back and my thumb starts turning. Lou will now tell you that's back on. So if he tries to turn his back flat, can't get there. The other nice thing now is this thumb is facing here. Now another way that I like to finish out of this is face in, and I just start punching that back down to the ground. Normally I would drop this knee and I would push this down. To be nice to him, what I'm gonna kind of do is give him the defense to give him a little bit right off the bat. You're kind of on your left side, so you know I'm gonna lay towards my left side. My left hand is going to punch down a little bit, and I want to be smart about your neck. So I want you to think, turn your thumb down and just shoot your hand down. Yeah, so relative to that. And don't worry about getting it in between your legs right now. All you're going to think is just try to reach thumb down as far as you can. So as I turn here and I start trying to come all the way through, you okay? Yep. So this is still going to give him a little space. Most people aren't going to defend this way, and if I really put a lot of stuff into this, it's going to put the strangle immediately on. This arm is completely isolated, and he's giving me 3/4 mount out of this. There are certain things he can do to kind of defend out of it, but usually most people are going to do the following. He's going to turn his head back towards me. He choked himself. So what's he have to do? He has to kind of go with it. That's why I'm saying tuck that in as much as you can. So even if you get that under your leg. If you go, watch, go back to where you were. If you go under my leg, like you did, this gets back into a lot of the series of what I did probably close to 10 years ago of mount attacks. So get under your leg, under, all the way through. Turn your thumb all the way back down towards your butt, and you have to tilt your, so this is already starting to go on, great. Right ear, right shoulder, start looking left. Keep turning all the way through. Turn. So now he's got some space, but he's got to be aware that monoplata, gogo, like all really bad things can still happen out of this, plus arm locks and everything. Given that we've been training close now to 4 hours, I'm just trying to give you guys a whole bunch of stuff to just be aware of what happened. Wiggle your right shoulder for a sec, because now the choke would go more to the right, but his right arm is kind of being set. So this is how stupid it gets. I take my right arm and I just put it out, wiggle your right arm again, that got tighter. Now if I just tilt and I start looking, that get tighter. Yep. So, and now if he tries to kill down on that shoulder, tighten that up, now he'll tell you the choke goes back on. All I have to do is just really be aware situationally, am I safe out of these kinds of positions versus everything else? The challenge that too many people are going to run into is they get focused on a move. I can't stress this enough, whether it's we're in squid guard, lasso lapel, inverted lasso lapel, and many different cross grips and a lot of these other kinds of positions. You have to be situationally aware of what are you doing first, how this person can influence you, but how you can influence yourself. If you're having a bad day, this is not gonna work. If this is one of those other things that you're overthinking it, it's not gonna work. People will look at some of this stuff and it's like, why is lapel and a lot of these things really hard? It's not really hard if you're willing to pay attention. And this is why, like again, when I get into stuff with people about gi versus no gi, a lot of this stuff with gi helps you build blocks. We'll just do one other little piece for this video to kind of give you what this could look like if you're struggling, regardless of gi, no gi, MMA, self-defense, everything else, where if you have a good training partner that you're working with, it kind of gives you something to do. So we'll just kind of face this way so you have it. And you can say right there, Nick. So I'm going to get this lapel, right, again, because I'm going to go low. And now I'm going to say, can I pull him up? Cool. Where my hands point dictate where he's going to go. So right now I can pull him up this way. But this is also telling me is that, and Nick, come all the way towards my hands. You're going to see that my hands are kind of facing this way. So regardless if I just push this out, you're going to see that I kind of get out to my side. If my thumb stays down and I take this back, I always have an underhook. If I feel that his arm is, so like where I was going before, he gave me the space to get here. Now I can't get there, and I have this. He's always given me some variation of if I'm going outside of the thigh, inside, whizzer, overwrap, overhook, everything. If he wants to try to move anymore, if my right thumb keeps facing out, you'll see that he can slide back a little bit more, but most of his weight, with my thumbs facing the way they are, it's forcing him diagonally kind of up with this. If he continues to move, all I do is I start turning my thumbs this way. Not only do I start to have an arm lock out of this position where I'm on a wrist, and it's not a grip. If he goes to wiggle his arm right now, it's kind of tucked in. If I make a fist right now, you can wiggle it, he's good. So I want this dictating to me, hey, he's leaning over that way, so I want to do that better. So you're seeing me tuck my right ear to my right shoulder, look, and if he tries to wiggle right now, much harder, correct?
Correct.
If you have a wrist problem, you have a shoulder problem. You have a shoulder problem, you have a neck problem. That works all the way back around. So what am I attacking right now? Yes, who's the one that submits? Him. I can't stress this enough. People worry too much about submissions. You will submit yourself more than you actually submit your training partner, because you never submit your training partner. They're the one that has to submit to you. And the sooner you can focus on every position you're in, could be a potential quote unquote submission, or it's really a guard or platform, it just makes it easier. What do I not want to be on him? On bottom. Where would I rather be? On top, and away on my side may be okay. As he continues to move, all I'm going to kind of figure out is where's he at? Where do I need to move my body? So my hands are facing up, so I can pull him up. Now I can get underneath to get that arm, and as he continues to move, my thumbs are facing down, and now you're able to set up a whole bunch of things. Could I wrap this choke above the neck? Yes. He'll tell you right now I've got that arm completely isolated. What would I let him do? Let him do it to himself. There's many other things we can go over. This is just a bunch of different things when you go through it. Take one thing from the video. You watch this is my recommendation for any video that you watch. Watch it the first time, don't listen to the audio. Watch it the next time, don't watch it, listen to it. Third time, watch it, listen to it. Every single time you do something, write notes. Write notes that make sense to you, voice note them, dictate them. There's great apps out there. You can just voice memo as well. Do it, because I'm going to explain it one way, he may explain it another, anybody else is going to explain it, any of your favorite people that you like to watch. Everything works. It works in that situation, it works how they're showing you it right there. You never do the same thing twice. You just never do it. That's another conversation for another day. You do things that are highly similar. But the more that you become aware of, hey, this works when I'm here, or this variation, you're going to learn from everybody, you're going to make it your own. Because what should happen is, if you watch this video, you can message me about this or everything else, any questions or anything. You could watch it 7 days in a row, and I'd say, give me something from one day. Give me your notes from there. Give me notes from day 2. Watch it from all these things. By day 7, give me something that makes sense to you, in your own words, not mine, right? I don't need to be the smartest person in the room. And I find that that's one of those things, is I need to make sure that this relates to you however it can. And I know some of these details may lose you right now. I'm doing my best to try to help you out. That's what I'm saying. Do whatever would make sense to you, and if you have a question, let me know, so that way, yes, you're on the right track. That's a better way to explain it. Notice what I'm saying. You will be the judge of if you are the better, have the better explanation, is if you go to do it, it actually works. You're watching me do it right now. Can Lou do it? So if I go down for a sec, And all I say to Lou right now, we're just practicing one thing. I want you to make sure that you can get the bottom of my lapel. Okay, based out of this, whatever hand configuration you need, you either need to try to bring me up that way or go that way out of it. But I need you to do the least amount of possible, especially if I'm doing more. Fair? Cool. What's only one thing you need to do? One thing you need to do. Stay right there. We're living where you're at. Let's not worry about the grips and everything else. Good. Now, point your thumbs one way. Good. Start to bring your, feel difference? If I don't move my right hand, I'm about to wrist lock myself. His thumbs are facing one way now. Now, all I'm going to tell you with your right hand is regardless of whatever is the best angle, take an underhook or overhook, make sure your thumb faces a similar direction. Cool. He can grab the lapel if he really wanted to again too. That's a nice thing, regardless of gi or no gi, okay? My left hand is slightly thumb down. Just turn your left hand thumb down. Cool. Go back one second. Don't fully change your grip. Just start to wring the towel. Just your left hand, okay? My right hand is slightly out, like base towards the mat. Take your right hand towards the mat. Tap.
Left.
My legs are unlocked, and I'm kind of leaning my weight to my right hip, but what I'm going to say from here is put more of your weight on top of me on my right hip. Tap. Okay? From this position, my right hand faces thumb out. If you tried to do that same submission, not as much.
Yeah.
Turn your right hand, palm up. Just your right hand. Nope, other way, palm up. Reach your right hand out a little bit. Tap. Okay? My left hand, to be as smart as possible, is I'm gonna curl my elbow back, and I'm almost kind of like gooseneck my left wrist. So as long as Nick can show you that, you don't have to move as much. As I'm literally taking this, you'll feel that. Take your left hand as much as possible and do that same thing. Good. Now, tap.
Left.
How much have we really changed?
Minimal.
And now, here's the thing. If I do this, and I push my left arm in, you push your left arm into me. Tap.
Left.
What submission happens? The one I put myself in. You will get infinitely better, and it's a marketing term, right? Regardless of this, take that out. You're gonna get better, right? By doing more with less and losing more than you need to win. If you, when you're training, you go and say, I get beat in this position, or this is not working. Why is this not working? If somebody just says to you, you're not doing it right, I'm sorry. That's bad coaching. What they need to be able to look at, or what you need to be able to look at, is what are you doing in that situation that might be different? Nick is not the same size as Lou. The way I have to do stuff with Nick, I have to make small adjustments to than the way I gotta do it with Lou. Does it still work? Yes, because I'm going, why would something work versus what if all these other situations? Regardless of where he was, he had the ability to now go, do I have underhook, overhook, everything else? Did you have to do anything else?
No.
You just let me do it for you. And the more that you're able to get on your side, stay safe, and work on these things, when you get into a position where you're struggling, it makes it so much easier to help correct it and get yourself out of your own way. And that's where, like, again, looking at techniques, when you watch other videos, and again, everything works. Love the fact that everybody's putting as much content out there as you can. Watch 10 different videos on a topic. Then follow that same similar thing like I was telling you. Watch it without listening to it. Listen to it without watching it. Watch it and listen to it. Write notes in your own way. And you may find some similarities of how people are starting to go about a way to do it that may make more sense to you. Take the time to really invest for yourself, like, hey, I need to go train hard. I need to put, it's a great way to go about it. What I'm also going to tell you is if you are somebody that is a weekend warrior, you're just trying to learn right now, everything else, volume of training is highly beneficial to be able to get better. The challenge that I also want you to be able to do is you are a subject matter expert in something that I will never be. You are the absolute best at what you do in ways that I will never be. Take jiu-jitsu, MMA, grappling, any martial art you're doing, and try to reframe it in a way that makes sense. Nick is a very successful financial guy. Can he take what he's learning here and think about, how can I not get submitted? How can I not get my guard passed? How can I not get my back taken? That way, every single time where he is already somebody that can just do stuff financially, autonomously, he just goes, oh, this is just another way to think about it. Good, he's just getting better off the mat as much as the time he gets here. Because once we start adding other language, everything else that I'm showing you right now, there becomes an additional amplifier of stress where, what does this mean? Cool, tell me what it means in your own words. And if we get that, then we can be able to kind of bridge this gap of communication and context to make it a little bit easier. There's many other things, like I said, we will go over in this series, but watch it, listen to it, take notes. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, shout out to Dante Rivera, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Make sure you get that logo over there. Get that logo, get that logo, get that logo, get that cage. Freehold, New Jersey. Everything else with this. And again, I'm here at Dante's, I'm here and also at Ocean County Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You got any questions, shoot us a message. Always remember, I got your back. We'll just do the one because